Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is me, Mary. Welcome back. Today with another episode of Love Stories in History. This time, as you saw in the intro and on the thumbnail, it's about Bonnie and Clyde. Now, Bonnie and Clyde's love story is a tragic one. Like I said on my previous video, I will be featuring, famous couples in history, and some are, have a good ending, some have tragic endings, some there's just have a lot of drama in them, but ultimately everything is about love and being together, being an awesome couple, and yeah. So today we're going to be talking about Bonnie and Clyde. They are not, how do I say it? Some people think, and they actually still to this day think that they were kind of like a Robin Hood kind of situation going on. They would steal and give to the poor. Some don't agree with that. If you don't agree with what I say here, I'm very sorry. It's just, it's not that, deep. But anyways, some people say that that's not true, that they were just delinquents. All they wanted was to do just steal, and kill people and all that stuff. So yeah, I'm going to be giving you a little piece of, a large, history about this famous couple, Bonnie and Clyde. They were basically together, and they did all this crime and the killing spree and stealing for like 2 years. So all this happening in 2 years is like a lot. So they were like very, very active, and I will definitely get into that. Anyways, as you can see, I already did my base, I did my eyebrows. I look very pale and then a little tan here. I was in a bridal, bachelorette weekend, and yeah, I got, a lot of pool time, so the sun and everything, so yeah, nobody's judging, right? So let's keep it like that. Let's keep it cute. Anyways, so I'm just gonna be doing a simple eye look and my lips and a little bit of contour, and then I'm gonna get in my little costume, because I like to either, I like to tell a story and also recreate, a makeup look inspired on the characters that I am talking about. My previous video, if you haven't seen it, I do encourage you to go watch it, support, give it a like, leave a comment if you have questions. It was about the famous love story of Cleopatra and Mark Antony, and today it is Bonnie and Clyde. So yeah, anyways, so I'm gonna start doing my eyes. Like I said, I'm gonna do a simple look because this was in a 2-year span, their situation, and I'm just gonna give you a little bit of background where they met, what happened in between, and what they were doing, and what happened, ultimately what happened to them at the end, which a lot of you already know what happened, but if you don't know, I'm going to give you that little piece of history. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and grab my brushes. Hope that everybody's doing good. Even though all this thing is going on, people are like trying to get back into, doing their thing. So I'm one of those. Okay, so I'm going to be doing like a simple eye look, and I'm going to be using the Kimchi Cheek palette. I will not be talking, all the way through what I'm using. I'll probably post it on the, put the notes on the description box. So if you want to try out anything I did, you're more than welcome to. So yeah, basically, I read this article. I don't know the name right now. I should have written it down, but I will put it on the description box of the article that I read and who wrote that article. I love the title, by the way. It was called Love and Bullets. I will put it on the description box. If you who wrote this or whoever, it's, you don't see your name on this video, I will put it on the description box. So, don't be mad at me. I did do like I put a little thing together, so I'm just gonna read it and, you know, explain it to you guys and give you my thoughts about, you know, all that happened. So what he wrote on the article, and I thought it was very interesting. He did, you know, do like a compilation of all their stuff that they did. So I'm just gonna give you a little bit of it. So if you don't know, Bonnie and Clyde, it's really simple. It is a love story, but it's not a typical love story. It's far from simple. Like, what it was basically a 2-year killing, multiple state killing spree, rampage, stealing, you know, all that stuff that they did from 1932 to 1934. And I'll give you all the information of what happened and why they stopped. So yeah, from 1932, that's when they, you know, they started doing all that. But so I'm gonna give you a little bit of background, starting with Clyde. So Clyde, his last name was Barrow. He was the 5th of 7 children. When he was a teenager, Clyde's family moved to West Dallas, to a notorious slums called the Bog. And from their campsite, where they were staying, from their campsite, Clyde could look across the Trinity River to downtown, and to downtown Dallas, and he thought to himself that was a life that was, you know, basically out of his reach. You know, they were poor, they had no money, and so yeah, basically he wanted that life, and he thought that he was not going to be able to get it like in a normal way. So yeah, Clyde, he turned to crime when he was 16. I mean, that's like, girl, super young. He turned to crime. You know, he would do like small things, you know, like petty thefts. Like he would do like, you know, getting into vehicles, stealing purses, you know, like every other criminal starts doing, you know, a little by little, they go bigger and bigger. That's basically usually how they start. So yeah, let me just set this really quick. I promise I will be getting better and better when it comes to narrating stories and giving you the facts of what I find online. Everything I find and everything I'm telling you, I found it online. You can check it out. So yeah, don't come for me if there's something that's not accurate or something like that. I just found it like that. So yeah. Good. Okay, so back on 1930, that's when Clyde first met Bonnie. And now Bonnie was also a poor kid from West Dallas. And like Clyde, Bonnie was also like money hungry. Like she wanted to have like a different, girl, no, that's going everywhere. She also wanted to have like a different life. She wanted to, you know, have money and do all those kinds of things. So when they met, not other than they liked each other, they also had like the same dream of, you know, being rich and who messaged me, you know, so being rich and you know, so they both, I mean, they were both poor, and I guess that the only way they thought that they could, you know, do their thing and get money was like to start stealing and, you know, stuff like that. So it kind of sucks because nowadays, my opinion, that's something that also happens, you know, when you're poor and you know, you don't have the means, you turn to crime. Not everybody, okay? I'm not saying that everybody does, but mostly that's what happens, and it sucks, but it is true. So yeah, so they met at this party and they clicked because obviously both of them wanted the same thing. They wanted to have money and be rich. So, and they say, and you know, he fell in love, I guess, because she was like tiny, she was cute, and she was very ambitious, just like him. So apparently it was love at first sight. They were both people who wanted others' approval, I guess, and they were like looking for like acceptance and stuff like that. So they had that in common. And yeah, like I said earlier, they wanted to be rich, so they were looking for like the glamour life. They were looking for you know, they wanted excitement, and you know, that they found that in each other. They found the things that they were looking for in each other. So it was like a match made in heaven, or maybe in hell. Who knows, girl? Who knows? But it was love, I guess. Let's say maybe a year or 2 years. Let's put it that way, because I didn't find extra information about it. I guess they were doing like petty theft. They were doing this and that, and you know, even though this is a love story, Clyde sometimes was a little mean to her, but she was like in love with him, so she didn't care that he was a little memey to her. But anyways, so like I said, a little after Clyde, I guess he got caught, and he went off to prison for car theft. I didn't find any information as far as what happened in between. You know, I guess she was just waiting for him, but I do know that he was trying to blame it on her. It was just the strangest thing. I don't know why they do that. Because with Cleopatra, something like that was happening as well. If you haven't checked it, check it out. So yeah, he went to prison, and they had like a little, they created like this kind of little, you know, gang. So I guess she was with them while he was in prison, but I guess he got out. And while he was in prison, Bonnie's mother begged her to forget him and, you know, keep on with her life and stuff like that, like any mother would. The couple, they vowed to each other that they would stay together, and Bonnie was freaking sticking to that. She was sticking to that, and she did not go date no one else. She waited for him, and I guess he escaped. I'm not sure. He escaped, or he got out. Either way, that's when everything, you know, also started to go down, because they were already looking for them when they got out, because of they kept doing their stealing and killing people. And when it got really, really, really bad is when they started and they killed cops. So yeah, it was like, girl, they were going nuts, nuts, nuts. Now, when it all starts going down is that from 1932 to 1934, they were doing all this crazy crimes and stealing and killing people and doing all that. So then it came up to, I guess, the state. They brought this retired Texas Ranger. His name was Frank Hammer, and that's when everything started to go down. Okay, so because Frank Hammer was hired to kill them, to find them, to stop them, to bring them to justice. So what happens? He, you know, he was just following them and trying to, you know, track them so that he can capture them. And yeah, his mission was to bring them dead or alive. That was his mission. So he tailed him for months. He kept looking for them. He kept, you know, basically trying to catch them, and he had his runs with them, but he was not able to, you know, to catch them. So yeah, I'm gonna put a stop. I'm gonna go ahead and grab, I'm done with like the base of the eyes, and I'm going to use I guess I'm gonna do like a little, I don't want to do anything too intense, so I'm just gonna put a little bit of highlight on my inner corner, just a little bit, but I am going to put my eyelashes in a little bit. Well, let me put the highlight in the inner corner. Now, going back to the story. So, like I said, Frank Hammer is looking for them. He's closing in on them and, you know, visiting, you know, keeping, you know, tabs on them, and he was visiting and keeping a lookout on Bonnie's house, where she used to, you know, live, or her family lives. So in the spring of 1934, sadly, it is kind of like a mind thing, because sadly they had them cornered, girl. Yep. This needs to be wet. Let me get that wet. Okay, yeah. So sadly, they had them cornered, and they knew where they were gonna be. So it was gonna be easier for them to, you know, get them, you know, arrest them or do whatever they needed to do. So it happened in a small town, like 45 miles east of Shreveport. Until that day, Gippsland was perhaps best known as Louisiana's Dangerfield capital. Yeah. So this was all going down there in Louisiana. Now, today, you know, up to date, it is still home to two museums dedicated to, you know, the legend Bonnie and Clyde and all their stuff, and the events from May 23rd of 1934. That's when I'm going to give you all the information, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give you the last part of the information. I'm going to go ahead and put my liner, my lashes, and my costume, and I'll give you the final information about this tragic story. So this is the final look when it comes to my inspired makeup of Bonnie from Bonnie Parker from Bonnie and Clyde and their love story. And to finish it off, I will give you the final part of the story, and which is the tragic part of the story, as you all know. So when the Ranger Frank Hammer had them cornered, that was back in May of 1934. They were basically, him and the county or the cops, sheriffs from that location had them cornered. They already knew they were coming through this road. So yeah, they were driving through this road, and they were waiting for them to ambush them. And as they were going, you know, exactly through that mark where they were going, they got in the middle of their way. They stopped and they started shooting at them. They shot so many rounds. Yeah, it was kind of like, ugh, girl. Yeah, so there is a movie out there. You can watch it. There's a couple of movies actually from Bonnie and Clyde that you can watch them. But basically, yeah, that's basically what happened. They got killed. They got shot multiple times. And then once they did that, they took the vehicle with them to the city where yeah, they paraded basically that they caught them and they were both dead. Now, this is like a twist side story. Bonnie's Parker's mom, she had a vow, or she vowed to herself that basically, even though Clyde had her daughter in life, he was not gonna have her in death. So yeah, even though they are always remembered as Bonnie and Clyde, they were buried separate, very far away from one of another, but in their families' hearts and in, you know, their friends' heart, their gangs, they will always be Bonnie and Clyde. You cannot have Bonnie without Clyde. It's just like, boom, girl. Those two, both of those names go together. So yeah, that is the story about Bonnie and Clyde. I hope you guys liked it and you like this little look. I don't mind this hair color. I don't mind this hair color, but it's obviously not my favorite. But I hope you guys like it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, leave a thumbs up, click on the notification bell so whenever I upload another video you get notified. And thank you so much for watching and supporting my channel. Last time I almost had 200, or I had like 200 exactly. Now I have 209. I'm actually very excited. You know, the subscribers are going up slowly but surely, and I appreciate every single one of you. So thank you so much for watching. And next Wednesday, woohoo, I'm gonna have a very nice, you know, story. And I'm actually very excited to dress the part. So hopefully you are excited as well. And like I said, everything I used will be linked below. So I didn't have to like explain it or anything. Everything will be linked below. Leave me some comments, interact with me. I love it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.